Welcome back to North Dakota Hockey with Brad Barry. A new year and a happy new year to everybody out there watching. And we welcome back the coach. Coach, good to be back talking some puck again with you. Hope that you had a happy new year and a good holiday season. Were you able to, before we get into your team, take a step back and relax a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. It was great to take a little bit of a break over the Christmas holidays, over a couple of days, and relax and take a breath. First half of the year, we didn't have a weekend off, so it was nice to regroup.
There was almost 3 full weeks between game action for your team, and obviously they were able to get away, maybe spend some time with their families, but if nothing else, at least just get away from the rink for a little bit. Any concerns about that, though, that proverbial break as you guys come back and try to knock rust off?
Absolutely concerned, yeah, for sure. You know, first of all, it's nice to get away to be with family, but in saying that, when you go back, you're not in your routine, and that's, you know, a big part of our success is preparation through the week, and you know, that was kind of, you know, put into effect of having Christmas holidays. So guys came back. The first 2 days were a little bit of rust in practice, and then they got back going again. I thought we did a reasonably good job on the weekend of trying to get back to where we wanted to be.
There was no slouch in your opponent either against Alabama Huntsville as we go into Friday's highlights here, and you had to shift some things around with Nick Schmaltz and Brock Besser away at World Juniors.
Yeah, you know what, anytime you lose those two players, you know, the offensive part, somebody else has to jump in there, and I thought we did a pretty good job in the first period of putting them on their heels. Just didn't capitalize. You
had an opportunity from a couple guys stepping up earlier there. We saw Christian Molanin feeding Joel Janatuinen, and then Bryn Chiswick feeds Johnny Simonson for a chance there. And yeah. Colton Sanderson, another guy that really stepped up, played some quality minutes for you on Friday.
Yeah, he did. I'm proud of the way he's playing here. You know, obviously he's getting a lot more opportunity and ice time this year than he ever has, and he's embracing it. And, you know, he's making plays. He's out there, and I thought over the course of Friday, Saturday, he did a great job for us.
That elusive first goal will certainly be coming for Sanderson, hopefully in the near future. Later in the first period here, Cam Johnson with a really big stop to keep his shutout streak alive, sliding across the crease there to keep it scoreless after the first. As we move into the second period then, as these teams got their skates underneath them, they started introducing themselves to each other a little bit with some big physical play.
Well, those two guys that you just see there, Olsen and Johnson, those two guys are very physical players, and obviously Drake, you know, he has that part in his game too. So, you know, we started to get a little more physical, a little more on our toes, and that tells you that we were getting more into the game.
Still scoreless here in the second. Nice play here by Johnny Simonson to poke the puck away. Gets a breakaway, but Guerrero, Mr. Guerrero for Alabama Huntsville, he was solid for them all weekend.
He was, he really was. I mean, he made save after save the whole weekend and then gave them a chance. And again, they hung around on Friday night.
The key moment here, I think, 5-on-3 power play. You call a timeout and then score a goal subsequent to that less than 30 seconds later. Take us through that.
Well, we weren't getting a lot done on the first part of the 5-on-3. We weren't sharp, weren't doing the things that we wanted to do, and I thought just regroup our guys, and I think it helped a little bit to try to settle them down and focus.
Keaton Thompson feeding Bryn Chiswick there for the goal to give your team a 1-0 lead midway through the period. The goal snaps a 10-game scoreless streak for Chiswick, getting your team on the board. Then later in the period, we shift to the focus of Cam Johnson, who breaks the 62-year record set by Spike Schultz as he sets the all-time scoreless streak record here at North Dakota.
You know what can you say about Cam? He's dialed in, he's focused, and you know, congrats to him on breaking the record.
He knew exactly what he needed to do, and shortly after he would break the record and set it, he'd get some scares at his end. Alabama Huntsville comes away with a breakaway here. Hayden Shaw makes a play, setting up a penalty shot.
Yeah, you know what? Makes a great save on the breakaway, and then as you'll see coming on the penalty shot, the guy makes a great move on him here. He toe drags it, and he makes a great save on the penalty shot coming up.
Any issue with Shaw taking that penalty there?
No, not at all. You know, obviously you want to try to inhibit a guy from scoring a goal. He did what he had to do.
And Cam again coming up with a big save here, keeping Alabama Huntsville off the board as we take one more look at it. Glove comes off, stick goes flying, but keeps your team out in front. Then in the third period, as we move forward, still a 1-0 game here at this point. The Chargers would just not go away with under 3 minutes to go, as we see your reaction there to Cam's save on the penalty shot. And Alabama Huntsville is going to get a golden opportunity here with under 3 to go off the face-off, but Cam comes up with a big kick save, and Tucker Poolman then blocks it. subsequent shot after that.
Yeah, first of all, you know, Cam has really quick feet all weekend. I mean, that's part of his game, is having the quick feet to dart out there, and he makes a great save. And then Tucker giving up his body to block a shot. That's awesome.
Moments after that, an uncharacteristic pass here by Drake Caggiula, but Cam once again closes the door.
Yeah, again, Cam's there to bail us out and preserve the win, so a great job by Cam.
Your team goes on to win 1-0 for its 7th straight victory. Bryn Chiswick with his 7th goal of the season. Cam Johnson with 19 saves and his 4th consecutive shutout, tying a UND record on a night that was a very meaningful one for number 33.
This night means a lot to me. Coming into the game, I knew what time I had to get to, and I tried not to focus on that too much, because that's when things will go haywire if you try and set your mind to that. So I just tried to stay relaxed. I knew it was on the line. I tried to not get too worked up about it. I just tried to stay in the moment.
Since coming back from his injury there, he's been lights out, making a lot of first saves, and I think it's a real credit to our whole team. Defense, obviously, they're taking away all the high-quality shots and boxing out guys in front of the net, and the forwards, too, on taking care of pucks. So I think it's a really cool record that goes down to him, obviously, but also our team. We're really proud of it.
Obviously, that's a fantastic accomplishment for Cam, and we're all happy for him. But I think that was kind of out of our minds, and we definitely, maybe in the back of our minds, knew about it just because of the media. But in the locker room, it was never mentioned, or we never talked about it. But nonetheless, congratulations to him, and that's obviously quite an achievement.
Coach, a difficult thing for any goaltender to do. 4 straight shutouts for Cam Johnson following Friday night. What were your thoughts on just that milestone mark that he made during that game?
Well, first of all, it's pretty impressive, the numbers that he put up to get to there. And again, everybody asks, you know, how did he do it? Well, I think there's a couple things that go on in that run. And first of all, his preparation. I think his preparation is impeccable as far as how he prepares throughout the week to get to the weekend. And then obviously the team in front of him. I think the team in front of him is playing very well defensively, and it's great to see that. And
let's not forget just the importance of these games against, in this non-conference series against Alabama Huntsville. You only won 1-0 on Friday night. So what were you emphasizing to your team going into Saturdays?
Well, you know, we always want that attack mentality, and I thought we did for the most part. We just didn't capitalize on a few different offensive opportunities. But, you know, our play away from the puck, we always mention that as far as making sure that we're sound that way. And again, it was indicative of giving up 19 shots on Friday and 15 shots on Saturday. That's what we want to do.
And you mentioned if you were looking for a quick start, you certainly got one on Saturday night. When Coach and I return, we'll take a look at Saturday night's highlights as North Dakota goes for a key non-conference sweep against Alabama Huntsville. That's next as you watch North Dakota hockey with Brad Berry.
North Dakota Hockey with Brad Berry on Midco Sports Network is presented by RydellCars.com, Sue Shop at Ralph Ingolstadt Arena, and HotSpring Spas and pool tables too.
Welcome back, Coach. Heading into Saturday night's game, certainly a lot going on with Cam Johnson's shutout streak going on as we get into this one. And again, a quick strike for your team in this one. Just 25 seconds in, you are on the attack and you get a goal off of Paul Ledoux's stick.
Yeah, it's a great play here by Drake going into the pile here, and he gets it low to high right away, and then just a one-timer shot. And very thankful we get off to a good start early.
Ledoux with his 2nd goal of the season, his 1st since November 13th against Miami. Nice to have that monkey off his back, I'm sure. And there were other guys that snapped some lengthy scoreless droughts in this one as well. One player that got an opportunity to play on this night, Mike Dornall, making his first appearance for UND with Rhett Gardner out from an injury following Friday's game. What were your thoughts on his game play?
I thought he played an excellent game. You know, for the first game of his career coming in, he did a great job for us. And not only physically, but he made some really good plays. I thought that whole line played well together.
Cam Johnson, of course, the story going in. 13 seconds left in the first. As they say, unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. And his great goalless streak comes to an end here as Alabama Huntsville gets on the board, and a dirty goal goes off of the stick of Keaton Thompson back there to tie things up at 1 apiece.
Yeah, you know what? We usually when something bad happens or a goal against 2 or 3 things happen, we didn't have a very good forecheck. Our track wasn't good, our gap wasn't good, and eventually was in our net. So we needed to be a little bit sharper there.
So close to the end of the period, too. Who knows what would have been. The streak ends at 298 minutes and 25 seconds, the 2nd longest streak in NCAA history. Now we go to the 2nd, and the maestro is back at work, orchestrating terrific plays. Drake Caggiula gets the feed from Troy Stetcher, who goes off the glass ahead, and Caggiula just takes it from there. We've seen this so many times, but every time you see it, it just wows you that much more, doesn't it?
Well, it really does, and it's I guess it should be of no surprise anymore, but he just one-ups himself all the time, and what a terrific play he makes, again, to make that move with quick hands and just a strong body going to the net.
What's most impressive to you about this play? Is it the move he makes around the defenseman, or is it the fact that even though he makes that great move, he could still finish and beat the goaltender?
I think a little bit of both, but I think the wherewithal of knowing what the net's play is or where the goalie's at, and that's a sign of a great player that can make that.
Caggiula's 14th of the year gives your team a 2-1 lead, and then the theme from there, as it has been all year, so many pipes and posts were hit on Saturday night.
Yeah, we need to make the nets bigger. You know, like I said, we've hit a lot of posts. A little frustration came into our game after we hit all those pipes, but I thought our guys did a good job of staying with it and persevering here.
I don't think Cam Johnson would want the nets to be any bigger, though, Coach. So it's still a 2-1 game in the third. And speaking of posts, Cam Johnson gets to thank one of his own here as Huntsville clanks one off, keeping it a 2-1 game. And afterwards, Cam would give a little devotion to that little thank you there.
Goalie's best friend. I know Jake Brandt did that all the time when he played, and the tradition carries on.
Carries on and keeps it a 2-1 game. Less than 2 minutes to go now, and Alabama Huntsville with the extra attacker on. But Caggiula with a nice feed off the glass. Almost a little mini theme there of how you were moving the puck up the ice a little bit, and Chiswick gets the empty netter.
Yeah, I thought the big play there, and we talked about it on the bench when the timeout was called, that if they win it back, we need to get in the shot lane, and I thought it all started with Austin Boganski blocking the shot, Drake making a little chip, and again, capitalizing on his backhand, Bryn Chiswick there. So great play by all.
And in the closing minute now, your team goes back on the attack again, and we're going to see Johnny Simonson feed Tucker Poolman as Poolman gets his third goal of the year to put a cap on this one.
Great play coming up the ice, and again, Tucker, you know, he has a very strong, hard, accurate shot, and again, he didn't make any mistake on the goal.
That will lead to the stick salute as your team gets another sweep, extending the win streak to 8 games here as your team goes on to win 4-1. We mentioned Cam's streak comes to an end at 298 minutes and 25 seconds. He had 14 saves on this night. Didn't have to do a lot in the third period either, as he only faced 2 shots in the third, so your guys up front were doing well. And as I mentioned, there were some guys that hit the score sheet that haven't done so in a while. Paul Ledoux, Troy Stetcher, Christian Wolanin, who moved up to forward, and Austin Poganski also making the score sheet. And following the game, Cam Johnson reflects on his streak. Drake Caggiula tells us what he saw on his amazing goal-scoring play, and Tucker Poolman puts a cap on the series as a whole.
Stetch made a great play, just chipping it off the glass, and yeah, he had a good touch on it and was able to get it right to me, streaking for a bit of a half breakaway there. And you know, I originally planned on shooting the puck far side, but the D-man kind of planted his feet, and I thought I could maybe make a move around him. And you know, fortunately for me, it worked out, and I was able to slide it home.
We played well tonight. The goal that went in, I obviously wish I could have it back, but it was just kind of fluky one. I think Keaton got a little tip of it, and it just found a hole. So it is what it is. It was a cool run. It's cool that my name will go down into the history and the record books here. So you know what, setting my scopes now, breaking my own streak.
It's big, especially non-conference, get those wins. You know, as far as end of the year, as far as seedings for the national tournament, if you want to be up there, you got to win your non-conference games. So that was something we all try to look at tonight.
Coach, there was so much individually going on in this series between Drake Caggiula's highlight reel goal that, you know, made ESPN and SportsCenter and all that, along with Cam Johnson's historic shutout streak going on, that the importance of these games almost kind of gets lost in the shuffle from our perspective. Yeah. Certainly for you, though, you know how big it was.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on, like you said, but you know, the first thing we addressed all week was our last 2 non-conference games of our season. We needed to finish strong, and we did. That's very important and crucial of trying to make the national tournament. So, again, a lot of things going on, but the most important thing was the team thing of winning 2 games.
You're 18-2-2 at this point. No team in the country has more wins than North Dakota right now. And after Friday night's win, you yourself became the winningest coach through 21 games to start his first year here at UND. I know that's not something that you're focusing on at all. No. But when you're trying to accomplish so many things and to check that one off, what does that mean to you?
I think first and foremost, like we say about our program, it's a team first mentality, and nobody's bigger than the team. And you know, it's an appreciative record to have, but again, there's some unfinished business that we want to get to, and again, we want to make sure we do that as a team.
All right, we'll preview your upcoming weekend in a little bit, but coming up next, we have a new segment to the show that allows you to interact with Coach Barry. We have that for you coming up right after the break.
North Dakota Hockey with Brad Barry on Midco Sports Network is presented by RydellCars.com, Sue Shop at Ralph Ingolstadt Arena, and HotSpring Spas and Pool Tables too.
Welcome back. With the turn of a new calendar year, we thought it'd be nice to spice things up a little bit here on the show and allow you, the viewers, to interact with the head coach. And to do that, you can hop onto Twitter using the hashtag AskCoachBarry, and we'll get your questions on the show. And Coach, our first question comes from Donald Gullix at GullD3, and he asks, how have you adjusted to provide intensity with Nick Schmaltz and Brock Besser at the World Junior Championships, and how did that affect the preparation going into last weekend?
That's a really good question. You know, obviously having two players of that magnitude out of your lineup for a couple of weeks, it's a big adjustment, and there's some ways of looking at it. First of all, it's you know, what are we going to do now? Kind of approach with our team, and we really didn't have that. You know, what we did as a coaching staff was we challenged our guys that said, you know what, those are two really good players in our group, but there's 25 other really good players in our group too, and it's about opportunity and about a chance to showcase what you have. So our guys loved it. You know, it's a chance to you know, say, hey, you know what, we got a good team here, and even though they're gone, we're gonna make hay.
And I'll piggyback that with another question about the World Juniors. That this is an issue that you face every other year, probably on average, with guys departing, and it's an opportunity for these players that they have to take advantage of it if the opportunity's there. There's no question about that. But how do you as a coach embrace that when it does disrupt things? Well,
you know what, obviously you want a full lineup every weekend, but when you have a chance to play for your country on a national level, that's huge. And again, we don't hide it that, you know, we have very good players coming to our program that have an opportunity to play for their program, and we want to make sure that they get a chance to go out and play. And we always feel that when they go out and play at a national level and an international level, we always get a better player back with their experience. So again, we're happy to let them go to play for their country.
All right. Thanks for those of you sending in questions. Keep them coming. Again, just hop on the old Twitter machine using the hashtag AskCoachBarry, and we'll get your questions right to the coach here on the show. We're back with more next.
North Dakota Hockey with Brad Barry on Midco Sports Network is presented by RydellCars.com, Sue Shop at Ralph Ingolstadt Arena, and HotSpring Spas and Pool Tables too.
Following UND's sweep over Alabama Huntsville, the team has regained its hold as the #1 team in the country, according to the USCHO.com poll. UND received 36 of 50 first-place votes, and they currently lead the nation in wins with 18 on the season. St. Cloud State, Omaha, Denver, and Minnesota Duluth also represent the NCHC in the top 20. And with the turn of the calendar, it's that time of year again where the pairwise rankings begin to take on more importance for postseason play. UND is currently sitting 5th in the pairwise, just behind conference foes Omaha and St. Cloud State at number 3 and 4, respectively. And a pair of UND standouts are coming home with bronze medals following the World Junior Championships in Helsinki, Finland. Team USA defeated Team Sweden 8-3 in the third-place game earlier today. Brock Besser scored a go-ahead goal early in the second period, his first of the tournament. Nick Schmaltz had a scary moment later in the period as he took a stick to the face. The impact led to a pretty bloody nose for Schmaltz, but he would play on. Moments after the incident, Schmaltz assisted on this goal to make it 6-2 USA. It's the 4th medal in the last 7 years for the red, white, and blue. Stay tuned. The coach and I return to preview this weekend's contest next.
North Dakota Hockey with Brad Barry on Midco Sports Network is presented by RydellCars.com, Sue Shop at Ralph Ingolstadt Arena, and HotSpring Spas and Pool Tables too.
Welcome back, Coach, as you get ready for an exhibition game this weekend against the USA Under-18 team, a game you can see right here on Midco Sports Network Saturday night at 7 o'clock. You will be getting those two players back from the World Junior Tournaments, Nick Schmaltz and Brock Besser. What are your plans with them this weekend?
When they come back, we'll make a decision on whether that put them in the lineup or not. Obviously, they haven't had a break like we have, and they've been going hard since August here. So again, we'll do the right thing for them, and again, make sure that they'll be in our group going forward after.
Helps that you were able to have success over the weekend without those guys. It gives you an opportunity to maybe mix things up a little bit more and experiment a little bit this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it gave us a chance to see different line combinations. It got us a chance to see Mike Gornell play, and that gave us a lot of information there, and he played very well. So again, you know, it provides opportunity in this time of year, and again, it shows you the fact that we have good players in our group.
With that in mind, do you do anything differently with Cam Johnson between the pipes this weekend? There's always that old, you know, you don't want to try to fix something that's not broken, but at the same time, here's an opportunity for, you know, somebody else.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I think in this situation, I think there is an opportunity to maybe get Matt Rinke or whoever else into the net this weekend to give them some experience. And you know, it's all about getting opportunity to play and getting some experience, and that's what we're all about.
All right. Thanks a lot, Coach. We will certainly be tuning in, and we hope you will be too this weekend. Again, Saturday at 7 o'clock. The UND team against the USA under-18 squad in an exhibition affair at Ralph Engelstad Arena. We'll drop the puck just after 7 o'clock right here on Midco Sports Network. Thanks for joining the coach and I this week. We'll see you next week once again here on North Dakota Hockey with Brad Berry.